Coinbase is so hot right now. If you're a stock investor, Coinbase is up 400% this year. And I bet it's even higher now. Coinbase up another 1%, probably another 52-week high. Yeah, every day, 52-week high. It is on fire. Bitcoin's on fire. Not only Coinbase, but you look at all the mining stocks. I didn't even know this many existed, but they're all doing well, but not as well as Coinbase and not as well as MicroStrategy, which their stock has been going up as well. It makes sense. And I told you guys, I'd much rather hold Coinbase than Tesla. Coinbase is going to go up. In 2024, they will have an enormous year. Miners are making money hand over fist right now. 23.7 million in fees daily. A lot of it is due to inscriptions, due to ordinals. Still very hot. The developers are trying to figure it out, but inscriptions are now going across chain. Just last night, I talked about how Avalanche, their fees have gone up through the roof because of inscriptions as well. It's happening all over. It's an interesting technology. I don't quite understand it, but it's almost like another layer on top of these L1s and L0s. SPY ETFs are going to make a lot of money for a lot of people. Grayscale CEO says it's going to bring 30 trillion into the space. 30 trillion. Bitcoin's not even at 1 trillion yet. That's a 30x basically from here on out. That is enormous. That's huge, right? And Michael Saylor also says 10x this cycle, no problem. That means Bitcoin being 400,000 by the end of this cycle, maybe a little aggressive. But, who knows? This is one of the reasons why Bitcoin is so strong. It's not really going down because spot ETFs could be approved the first week of January. If that's the case, why would you not want to load up right now? That's the thing. And even somehow we don't get it. Even though we've been getting so many revisions from BlackRock, we know it's about to happen. But somehow, let's just pretend it didn't happen in January. Well, we still have the halving event. Let's not forget the halving event in April. That's right around the corner too. That's less than 4 months away. It's all going to be fabulous in 2024. And let's not forget the rate cuts that's coming in June of 2024 and a presidential election that's coming in 2024. Man, it's going to be great. All right, let's look at some metrics here. The MFI, the Money Flow Index, has successfully caught the parabolic phase and the bottoms. The current level of MFI indicates that BTC has entered a parabolic phase. He just repeated that twice. This phase is getting faster each time than the last. Are you ready? Well, I am. Look at the last 2 times this has happened. Bitcoin, it doesn't have a percentage, but Bitcoin went up thousands of percents, hundreds of percents. This time around, hundreds of percents, probably. Right? These overall long-term metrics are generally correct, because it discounts all the short-term volatility. Overall, it just shows you the long trend. The long trend for Bitcoin is, whenever we get into a halving event and afterwards, we go up parabolically. That never changes. And here's the Elliott wave showing Bitcoin going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every cycle has 5, or every wave has 5 points. And the 5th point is the explosion. And this time around, the explosion looks like it's around $200,000. Not unreasonable. Not unreasonable, especially if we end the year at 50,000. By the time we get a halving event, maybe 100,000, or let's just say 70,000 to be conservative. Is 200,000 that unreasonable afterwards, especially with $30 trillion coming into the space? No, definitely not. This could be a conservative number. So it's all looking good, guys. It's all looking good. This is a fractal pattern comparing Bitcoin's current movement to what happened after 2020's COVID crash. Very, very similar. Are we about to break upwards just like what happened in 2021, going from 10,000 to 64,000? It looks very, very similar. We may be a little bit ahead of the game, but the timing is about right. Looking good for Bitcoin, guys. Looking good for Bitcoin. No one wants to miss what's coming next for Bitcoin. except Jim Cramer. Well, he didn't say Bitcoin specifically. He did before. He told everyone to sell Bitcoin right when it was at 16,000. And you know what? Those that listened lost out on a lot of money. But now he's saying it's time for investors to take some profit in this hot market. And if the inverse Cramer is correct, that means you should not take profits and buy more. But kidding aside, I mean, it's never a bad time to take profits, okay? If you feel the market's too hot, you're making too much money, which no one literally ever says, I'm making too much money. But if you do feel that way, you should take some off the table. You got to replenish that cash pile in case things come down. Or if you want to invest in something new, right? The next hot meme or the next hot L1, you need to have money to invest in them or DCA what you have, right? So it's important to have some cash on the side. But Jim Cramer, man, the inverse Cramer has been right so many times. As for Bitcoin, like I said, still holding pretty well. 42.4 hasn't really moved that much, right? This morning's a little bit higher, about 43, but overall we're just going sideways. That's okay. Okay, remember, going sideways is okay. There's been many times where we go sideways. So overall, I think Bitcoin is in a really good spot. There's another meeting with the SEC between BlackRock and Gary Gensler. Just, on a side note, just imagine, Gary's people going up to him and saying, hey, Gary, you can't believe what the crypto community is now pumping. A coin called Cock in you. No wonder Gary doesn't like crypto. When you got memes like Cock in you pumping, no wonder why Gary doesn't like the space. Anyways, so that seems like it's a done deal. Michael Saylor looking serious as usual. Also, yesterday he said that, Bitcoin is ready to do whatever. I forgot what he said, a 10x. Yeah, it makes sense. It will drive Bitcoin up to the 400,000. And today he says it's the biggest development on Wall Street in the last 30 years. Institutions are going to FOMO in. It's a certainty. They are going to be FOMO in and putting their billions and trillions into the space. And a lot of that will flow out of Bitcoin too. So it's not just Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's going to lead the way. Bitcoin's always going to lead the way. Who knows how high it's going to go? 150, 200, 250,000, 400,000 by the end of this cycle. But a lot of money will also flow into others like Avalanche and Solana and Cardano and Polygon and all these other chains, and a lot into memes too. It's going to be absolutely glorious.